Now, personally, I don't feel very much nostalgia when it comes to really anything. Besides these two graphic novel series, there isn't really anything I can recall from my past that I feel quote unquote nostalgic for. But there is one thing, one period of time in a game from the past that makes me feel truly nostalgic. That being Geometry Dash 1.9. Without a doubt, the number one factor for feeling this way towards this update is that it's the update that I personally started playing the game in. I remember browsing the App Store one day on my mom's phone and then seeing this silly little cube face on a game called Geometry Dash. I thought it looked pretty cool, so I decided to download it. And oh boy, did that change my life forever. I was on a summer trip in 2015, and I downloaded the light version. I can't recall if I actually started playing in 1.9 or 2.0, but considering that 2.0 came out late summer, I'm pretty sure it was 1.9. When I started, I was terrible. I mean, awful. I was just playing Stereo Madness for 20 attempts a day, rarely ever getting to the ship part. And it's not like I got any better over time. Multiple years passed and I still haven't beaten Stereo Madness. I poured in hundreds of attempts into this level, but 8-year-old me just really couldn't do it. Until I was on a road trip one day, on my Kindle Fire, where I got 95%. This was a devastating failure for me at the time. 95% on Stereo Madness? How could I? I didn't wind up beating that level for the next 4 years, but in that time was 1.9, 2.0, and early 2.1. Mid 2.1 was when I finally got the full version. So people still weren't entirely used to, moving objects, multiple color channels, invisible gameplay. I kinda grew up with it, just like how they grew to learn it. It was fun grinding auto levels since I couldn't really beat anything easy. Until the day that I did. In 2018, I finally beat my first non-auto level, Retray. Retray is an easy level, don't get me wrong. But compared to Stereo Madness, this is a cakewalk. I only beat Retray in 10 attempts, which I thought was a lot back then. I couldn't believe spending over 200 attempts on a level back then. That just sounds crazy. You'll never beat it if you spend 200 attempts on a level. And that's why Retray was my only completion back then. But let's quit talking about 2.1. What makes 1.9 so nostalgic for me if I mainly played in 2.1? Something noticeably different from 1.9 to currently 2.2 is the insane difficulty jump. Take Cataclysm. When this was made in 1.9, this was seen as an impossible challenge, something that nobody could ever beat even if they had a million years to spare. But look at it now, a beginner extreme demon. That is just sad. A level that was seen as the hardest of its time, now being the easiest of its difficulty. Staying on topic with Cataclysm, for 1.9, this decoration is crazy. Like, look at how good this is when most of the levels back then looked like this. Especially since the last top one we had before this was this garbage. Like, there's an extreme visual difference, and one looks beautiful while the other one looks like it was made by someone who lives in a dumpster. It amazes me that this masterpiece was made with only 4 color channels. Like, we are spoiled with this 1000 nowadays. It used to be 4, and they made this! Cataclysm isn't the only level that was seen as an impossible challenge, and now is really easy. To name a few, 9 Circles, Acropolis, 8-0, Supersonic, I could go on. But a factor of the nostalgia is just the memories of these being so difficult, yet so easy nowadays. If I were to ask you what the hardest achievement in Geometry Dash is, let's be honest, we would all say getting that rated level for that koala UFO. Now back then, yeah, it was difficult, but by today, it is near impossible. Getting a level rated by RobTop today is so stupidly hard compared to how easy it was back in 1.9. Here's a featured 1.9 level in a map pack. This is just bland. There's like no air deco, there's no like interesting colors, the gameplay's awful. This level is featured in the map pack. Let's see what rated levels look like today. This was rated yesterday. It's rated, not even featured. What are you doing, RobTop? These raid standards have become unbearable nowadays. Like, you have to create some masterpiece to get epic or featured, because this is really good and it's just rated. At least RobTop actually recognizes this as, you know, a problem. So hopefully it will be revamped. But just thinking about how easy it used to be to get featured levels back then, it just makes me want to go back, man. You know, the nostalgia kicking in, the old days where anything could get rated. I just want to go back, man. If you didn't agree with me on the last two, that 1.9 was a great time, you're definitely going to agree with me on this one. The community right now is a dumpster fire. Yes, it's very big. Yes, there's a lot of great things about it. But I feel like there's so many negatives that outweigh the positives. And somehow this is the greatest video game community to exist. I feel like Daily Dose of Geometry Dash really sums up this community's problems. Every single day there's a new controversy. And it's not like a couple people don't like a level. No, it's tens of thousands of people are doing something that tens of thousands of other people don't like. However, the community in 1.9 was just some dude hacked Sonic Wave Cataclysm. Oh no. The only controversies in the community back then were really just hackers. And whenever someone makes a new discovery or creates something new today, they get criticized for it. But back then, they got praised for it, which just shows that this community took a downfall in wholesomeness. So now's the part where you're expecting me to say, in conclusion, I like 1.9 because the community was better. Wrong. I truly don't know why I feel nostalgic to 1.9, but I do have a few side theories that are just a bit smaller than rating system, community, and hard levels. Number one is probably because of how overwhelming 2.2 is compared to 1.9. Like, I don't think I have to explain this one. Just if you play the game, you would know that. Second is games change. Like, I would understand how most people feel nostalgia for like Minecraft 1.8, but I personally just don't for some reason. All my nostalgia for old games goes into 1.9 of GD. I really don't know what it is. Anyways, I haven't slept for 36 hours, just staying up making this video. If this doesn't get views, I'm killing myself.